Hi, it's Carol Doherty. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about how do you know if this is the right career move for you at this time. In my last video, I talked about how do you know if it's time to move. So you've decided it's time. You have options in front of you. Great, that's awesome. There are so many people who would like to be in your situation. And now you're going, which one's right? Where do I go? What's the right choices? That's normal. That's natural. You're faced with options and it can become overwhelming. It can be scary and it may make you rethink everything. You're maybe going, oh, why? Why did I do this? It's okay. Pause, breathe. I've got 4 steps for you to help you figure out which is the next best step for you. All right, so let's dive into it. Step 1, go back and remember why. In that last video, I talked about what is it you want to fix. Figure that out. Why do you want to leave where you are? Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your coworkers, it's the pay, it's the location, it's the workload. It's the lack of growth. It's the lack of diversity. It could be anything. There's millions of reasons. Why is it you want to leave? I'm an engineer, so my solution is often a spreadsheet. Those of you who know me aren't surprised by that. But one of the things that I've found helpful is to open up a spreadsheet and down one side, list the reasons why you're leaving. What are the things you're looking for in your next position? What are they? Write them out. Get clear on why it was you want to leave. What is it you're looking for in this position? Remember the why. Now, second step is to step back, pause a minute, and evaluate each of your options against those whys. Now, your options may be this new job and staying where I am. Maybe you have more than that. That's awesome. That's even better. More overwhelming, but it's better. Even if your only options are stay or go, write them across the top of your spreadsheet. Stay, job 1. And then start evaluating each of those against what you're looking for, the why, the things you want to see. Rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 is the best. 1, they don't even know what you're talking about. Evaluate them, score them, and you'll start seeing that one is probably adding up better than the other. It starts giving you an indication of what it is you're looking for. Which one might be the better next step? So, once you evaluate all of those, pause, step away from it for a minute, clear your mind, and then come back to step 3, which is to look at your best option and think through what are the risks if I take this? Maybe this new thing means you need to move. What's the risk if I pick up and I move and it doesn't work out? What's that risk look like? Whatever it is. Or maybe the company won't be able to deliver on their promises, or maybe they just outright lied, and whatever the risks are, whatever you think the risks are about that job. Maybe it's a stretch for you, and one of the risks for you is I can't live up to it. Doesn't matter. What do you perceive as the risks of taking that option? And then go back to your other options. Go back to staying where you are. What's the risk if you stay? Well, I stagnate. I get more overwhelmed. I get more overworked. I fall further behind in pay. Whatever it is. What's the risk if you stay where you are? And if there's a third option in there, what's the risk if you take that one? Look at your risks. Because it's not just about what scores highest, because even some that look like they're really great options on paper may have some really high risks. So look at the risks. And now that you've weighed out, you can see which one seems to be the best option. And you look at those risks. What's your gut telling you is the best option? Which one feels right? That's step number 3. What's the risk? And then at the end of that, you should know which one feels best. Which leads us to step number 4, which is stop and imagine, really picture yourself in that new role. What's your life going to be like? How are you going to feel? What are you going to be thinking about your career? What's your life look like? Do you love where you're living? Maybe you're moving someplace new, or you're taking a transfer within your company. Do you like your new team? Do you like what's going on? Whatever it is, picture what your life will be like if you're in that job. And as you sit there and you picture that, close your eyes, immerse yourself in creating that new world. And if you sit there and you think about it, and you really kind of start feeling like, okay, this is what this would be. If it feels right, if it feels like, wow, this is what I want to do. Doesn't mean there aren't doubts. Doesn't mean you know all the answers. It doesn't mean that. It just means, does it feel comfortable? Then you found your winner. You know which is the right move for you. All right? So if you're struggling with this and you need some help, reach out to me. I work with clients going through this. I had one client who had a great opportunity with the organization she was at, and she had 2 other organizations talking to her. And she needed to figure out which was the right fit. So we worked through what kind of questions to ask in our interviewing process to get to some things that are beyond the technical aspects of the job. Inclusion and diversity were huge for her. How did she find out what they were getting at? How did she understand what the team's like? What, her growth opportunities were without feeling like, well, I want this, but I really want the next thing. But how did you ask those questions so that she could really understand what it was she was looking for and looking at, and then looking at those options? By being able to ask the right questions in the interviews, she was able to figure out real easily when the interviews were done what was the right choice for her. It became so apparent that it made it easy. So this is what I'm talking about. You can figure out what the next step is if you walk through these 4 steps. It's not hard. It's not horrible, but you can figure it out. If you're struggling, reach out. I love working with clients going through this. And if you follow these 4 steps, you can figure out what's going to be your best next step. And remember, if it doesn't work, you can always make another move. Nothing is permanent unless we let it be. So if this resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button below. And you can always find me on Instagram at Carol S. Doherty. See you around. Have a great day.